Good morning. It is just before 6 a.m. and I slept very well last night. I don't even think I woke up during the night. It was so peaceful as it is now. There's like no wind at all. There's just a few creatures and birds and things. Oh, I actually wish I could stay here because it is just really nice. But I need to get a little bit further up the trail. So I have a plan today. I thought about this last night. Kennedy Meadows is roughly 26, 27 miles up the trail. What I think I might do is get really close to it, like get within kind of like 5 miles of it, and then camp just outside tonight. Go in tomorrow morning, first thing, pick up my sleeping bag, pick up my food parcel, and then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to mail my sleeping bag, this sleeping bag that I'm using now, I'm going to mail this one along with a couple of other bits and the food that I've not used on this section. I'm going to mail all that to Bishop because at the moment I've not got anything in Bishop waiting for me. I'm going to mail all of that to Bishop, and then when I get to Bishop I can use that food for that section, and I can decide what I'm going to do with my sleeping bag and my other bits and bobs. Rather than sending them home, I might just bounce them up the trail, because I have a feeling, that a 10-degree bag is going to be too hot for some parts of the trail after the Sierra, but I don't know. We'll see. So if I just send that to Bishop, that'll give me a little bit of choice. And then I can charge up my electrics that I need to charge up, and then I can leave Kennedy Meadows the same day. So get in Wednesday morning, leave Wednesday afternoon, and then camp just outside again on the other side. That's the plan. Plans don't always work. So we'll see what happens with that one. But my feet have stopped hurting and my calves, which is good news. I took a couple of ibuprofen last night. I need to pick some more of those up in Kennedy Meadows because I don't have many left. Apart from that, everything is going swimmingly so far this morning. So I'm going to get a drink and something to eat. It's 7 a.m. and I've just left camp. I'm the last one, as usual. To me, starting hiking at 7 a.m. is quite early, but obviously that's not the case. And I think in the Sierras it's going to have to be a lot earlier than that to take advantage of the conditions, basically. You don't want to be walking on the snow and the ice when it's kind of all melting and slushy in the afternoon. You want to be doing it first thing in the morning, when you can still get some traction with your spikes. So, yep, there's going to be some early starts, I think. Or some late nights, possibly. One of the two. Anyway, today I've got a bit of a downhill to, funnily enough, the campground where I dropped a centipede off in the rental car the other day and took the trail magic up to. That's probably about 5 miles from where I am now, I think. It's mostly downhill. After that, I've got the last big uphill, and it is the biggest uphill of the 3 in this section as well. And then once I'm up to the top of that, obviously got the big down on the other side, and then it's relatively flat to Kennedy Meadows. I said about my plan this morning. It's what I was hoping to do. It may change. It may be that I feel good today and I just keep walking to Kennedy Meadows tonight. But I think it would be quite nice just to have like one last night in the desert. Technically in the desert section. Once you get that close to Kennedy Meadows, it really doesn't feel much like desert anymore, but we'll see what happens. I didn't want to talk over that view just because it was so blooming nice. And I wanted you to hear the peace and quiet as well. Because it is very, very still this morning. So I'm not too far from the campground now. I believe there's a pit toilet there. There isn't actually a spigot, a tap, but there is a creek just before you enter the campground. So I'll stop at that, fill up with water. I think it's about a 10-mile carry from this point, from the campground. So up and over the hill, I'll make sure I've got enough for that. Look at the lizards on the rock there. 2 of them. Yeah, I'll fill up with water, stick some sunscreen on, and then try and get up that last climb before it gets really, really, really hot. Someone did tell me the other day that it's actually quite a gradual climb, but everyone's idea of gradual is different, so I guess I'll wait and see what it's like. Alright guys, it is 8:47 and I'm at mile, I think it's 687 possibly, I might be wrong. But as you can see by the sign there, Chimney Creek Campground is 0.2 miles up the road there. The whole point of me going up there was to use the facilities. Unfortunately, 0.2 miles proved too long, so I haven't needed to go up there, basically. Deduce from that what you will. The creek is just down there. I stopped and filled up with water. And now we are headed off up this hill.
final climb of this section, or the final major climb of this section, just before 9 o'clock, so hopefully get this done before midday, and then I can kind of switch off and relax a little bit for the rest of the day. Be quite nice. It's really nice seeing the scenery change as well. So kind of you can see the change from the desert to the more sort of mountainy alpine environment. Be nice to find a really pleasant camp spot for this evening, just outside Kennedy Meadows, somewhere with maybe a nice view of a sunrise or a sunset. Just be nice to be able to sit and take it all in and reminisce on the desert section. So it's about 10 to 10. I'm at mile 684.5. I've just topped off my water at Fox Mill Spring. I've now got 10 miles to the next water source, which is Manta Creek. To get there, I've got to get up and over this final climb of the desert. I just met another hiker called Giggs. She's American, and it turns out she hiked in 2019 as well. She said there's a lot of 2019ers and 2023ers out on the trail this year, because they were both bad snow years. It sounds as though 2023 was an extremely bad snow year. So I think a lot of people are trying to get something done that they didn't get done in previous years, like me. But she said she had a very similar experience to me in 2019, kind of flip-flopping around trying to find snow-free areas. You can see down there in the distance maybe like a column of rain coming down behind me as well. The scenery's changed. Someone did tell me what this bush was in the comments. I thought it was hawthorn or something similar. It is something similar, but I can't remember the name they used, but there is loads of it here, and it's really, really strong smelling. Quite nice to smell. Crossing this dirt road, from memory, that means that there isn't a great deal of this climb left. I think there's maybe one more dirt road, either very close to or on the top of the climb. So that's good news. Probably have a break when I get to the top. Switch some water over, and have a Cliff Bar and see if I've got any signal. I've had no signal all morning. It'd be nice to check on things. It's funny, I was saying my plan was to camp about 5 miles outside of Kennedy Meadows. Giggs was saying that's her plan as well. So she said, I think there's quite a few people with the same idea. I do remember somewhere that I sat last time before heading into Kennedy Meadows. Had a really, really nice view. It was like a peninsula of land. It had a beautiful view. If I can find that and find a campsite on there, I'd be pretty happy. But give you another look at this view before I switch off. It's Definitely getting towards the end of the desert. Well, this climb is the climb that never ends, but we saw them from Walker Pass, and now we're a little bit closer. You can make out the Sierra Peaks in the distance. And a lot of cloud. Definitely going to be a change in weather patterns up here. I'm looking forward to getting this climb done with. Not much further to go. And then after that, smoothish sailing all the way to Kennedy Meadows. Oh yeah, if you remember a while ago on that really rainy day, I showed you the caterpillars. Well, there's some more of them. There's been 6 or 7 of those in the bushes that I've seen this morning, just this last little section. And I also walked past what I'm going to assume was some sort of beehive, because there were these absolutely huge bees all concentrated at the side of the trail. Check out that tree. Quite gnarly. Yeah, these huge bees. I asked that girl behind gigs if she knew what they were. She said she thought they were carpenter bees, but I don't know, they were massive. Wow. Well, it's mile 688.5, and this dirt road behind me just marks the summit. So everything, or most of the hiking from here on out, is down or flat. It's about, I think it's about 11:15. Yep, 11:15. And I'll just show you the view that we've got from this point. Well, this has been quite a cool section. Just from the top back there was a little kind of real rocky part that you came across, and it was almost like something out of Lord of the Rings. And then from there, you could look down the hillside here and see the trail snaking its way all the way down the hillside. You still see little parts of it. But you can see in the distance there, the weather isn't looking too good over the Sierras. Looks like there's quite a bit of rain coming down. Some quite nasty clouds as well. So I was trying to remember the last time it rained on the trail for me. I think it was the day that me and Centipede started early to try and beat the heat. And it basically didn't get hot. It was just misty and cloudy and wet all day. I think it was that day. But this is pretty epic around here. This is one little section that I can't remember a great deal about, to be honest with you. Well, literally in the last 10 or 15 minutes, the weather's taken a massive change. The wind has really picked up. I'm not sure whether... Oh, I am sure now. I was just going to say, I'm not sure whether I'm hearing thunder or jets, or a combination of, but 100% that's thunder. Wow. Welcome to the Sierras, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hope it's not start as you mean to go on. I can feel a few spots of rain coming down on me now. Hear them hitting the backpack as well. But yeah, this looks like it might throw a little bit of wet stuff down onto us. right on lunchtime as well. I'm only about a quarter or a half a mile from the creek, from Manta Creek and the tent sites where I was intending to have some lunch. So maybe see if I can find myself a tree down there to shelter under or something like that. Give me a bit of protection. As long as it's not one that looks like it's going to come down. Wow. You can, whoa, those clouds look amazing. I've just seen them on the camera screen. Oh my goodness, look at that. Wow. Oh yeah. Can't get over that cloud over there. That just looks so evil through the camera. Wow. It doesn't look quite as dark as that in person, but through the camera lens, that's looking pretty impressive. Well, I had intended to eat lunch at the creek back there, but then the thunder started and the lightning and the rain did actually come down pretty heavy at one point as well. There was quite a few hikers there. There was a few little nooks and crannies under bushes and things to hide under. I was there for like 5 minutes, and then I kind of thought, if I stand around here and it's wet and raining, I'm just going to get really cold. So I just decided to carry on, and it's eased off a lot now to the point where I can get the camera out and show you some of this scenery with the cloud hanging around. I've got to admit, it's kind of nice to see it like this. It kind of signals a change in everything. You know, not just the terrain, the weather, the way you're hiking, the altitude. It's basically saying, yep, you've had your fun in the desert. Now it's time to get a little bit more serious. I think within half an hour I'll be able to sit down somewhere and enjoy some lunch. It does feel like it's really easing off. Unfortunately, there's no phone signal still, so I can't even check like the forecast or anything like that, which is a bit of a shame. But, see down behind me, it's a little bit brighter in that direction. The wind's died down as well, actually. When I said I was walking down towards that water source, it was really, really picking up. Well, it's absolutely died a death now. That's a nice shot with that tree there. Anyway, carry on walking till I find somewhere suitable to stop. Of all the places and all the weather to come across a snake at the side of the trail, I did not think it would be here today. It's not a rattlesnake, but I imagine it's quite cold. Hello? It's not moving at all. And yet its head is held up, so it's got to be alive. Nice markings on it. All the way, where's the tail? There it is. So I'm doing this with a selfie stick so I don't get really, really, really close to it. Well, that motion lapse that you just watched, that was the view I had at lunchtime. I thought if it's going to be my last lunch in the desert section, technically, I'd like it to be one with a nice view. So I carried on walking until I found somewhere, and that fit the bill perfectly. A nice big piece of rock to lay my mat out on, plenty of space, just off the trail, beautiful camp spot. It's about 3:20 now, and I'm just about to hit mile 698. What I'm looking for now, 3 things: the 700 mile marker, a water source, and a camp spot. I decided I'm not going to go into Kennedy Meadows tonight. I just want to find somewhere, well, as long as I can find somewhere to camp that's nice. I'd like to find somewhere with a nice view. Just lay in the tent, chill out, listen to some music. Well, the good thing about the Pocket 3 camera that I'm using is that you can get some battery handles for it. They literally just clip into the bottom of it and charge it up, and you can use it whilst it's being charged. And the battery handles are also quite easy to carry around with you. They don't give you a huge amount of charge, but I was on less than 20%, and at the moment it's up to 50 something. So it gives you a little bit of a boost when you need it, when you're on the move. That noise that you might be able to hear is the South Fork of the Kern River, and it's a very welcome sight after probably a couple of weeks of difficult water carries. That is really nice to see. So I'm probably going to find somewhere where I can get some water in this area, and then start looking for somewhere to put the tent tonight. It's actually got really warm again now. The sun's come out. Oh, that's just beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely lovely. Yeah, we're walking right by the river now. As you can see, loads of little paths going off to the river's edge to be able to get water. And I know the list that Centipede gave me as well of the water sources. She did put on that the last few miles, there's quite a few places where you could get down to the water's edge. So I'll fill up my bottles and I'll get a full 2 litres in the Vecto as well, in the Nock Vecto. That should give me enough water to get through the night and to get to Kennedy Meadows in the morning. Oh, beautiful walking down here now. Really nice. You wouldn't believe it was thundering and lightning, kind of like, what, an hour ago maybe? Crazy weather patterns. "700 miles. It's official." Whoa, wow. Well, you can see down here, it's kind of opening out a little bit at the foothills, the bottom of the foothills. Those clouds still look really, really menacing through the camera lens. This is kind of the outskirts of Kennedy Meadows. It says on the app that when I cross a dirt road down here, I'm actually in Kennedy Meadows. I believe, yeah, there we go. I thought there was like an abandoned shack or house or something down here somewhere. Seem to remember that. I was wondering what the big white thing was at the right hand side, but now I can see that it's a satellite dish. You can see it really is in the middle of nowhere. So I can't pass by without showing you this. I only just noticed it myself. But there's the abandoned house or cabin. And then just down here, we've got this thing that someone's attached to the fence post, right next to a no trespassing sign. I think that's quite funny. Very good. Alright everyone, it is just after 5 p.m. and I am going to stop here for the evening. I am roughly, very roughly speaking, mile 702.5. So I am literally just outside Kennedy Meadows. This outcrop of rock that you can see in front of you here is genuinely where I sat and cried in 2019 because I couldn't believe I'd got here. It was pretty emotional, I'll be honest. I don't feel like that today, not at the moment anyway. But yeah, that's what I was looking for. That's the view that I was looking for. And if you can see the building in the distance with the large aerial, I think, I'm not 100% certain, but I think that might be the general store. I'm probably, no, I'm probably wrong. Anyway, that's Kennedy Meadows up there. The wind is quite strong. The trail is just over here somewhere to the right of me. And I am gonna, you can see someone's camped here before. There's been a campfire there, just there, look. If the campfire hadn't have been there, I'd have probably put my tent there because it's quite a nice spot. But as it is, where is it? I've got another spot, just around this corner. There it is. This one's going to do me, I think. Nice and flat, nice and sandy. There's some rocks around to anchor my stakes. And I have got my view. So that's me done for today, guys. Mileage wise, I need to work it out, but I think I've done 25 or 26 today, something like that. With the exception of that uphill, most of it has been pretty easy going. Although I will say my shoes are worrying me slightly because I've got some pain in my feet. I'm kind of hoping it's just with, as I said yesterday, just with being rested for 5 days and not doing anything. But I'm definitely going to have to keep an eye on that. Anyway, I am going to put my tent up here in a position where I can lay inside it and look at that amazing view. Hopefully, I might have a decent sunrise or sunset for you. Fingers crossed. No promises though. I really can't think of a better place to wind up the desert section of this hike than a mile away from Kennedy Meadows. I guess I just want to take this opportunity whilst I've still got some decent daylight and I'm still functioning to say a massive thank you to everyone who's followed along, whether it be from day one or whether you've picked up my story after that. I really do hope you've enjoyed some or all of the videos and the content that I've put out. It's been a bit difficult to keep up with it sometimes, but I've been doing the best I can, given the location that I am in. But yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed some or all of it, and it's been an absolute pleasure to be able to film it for you guys and to bring it to your homes or wherever you're watching the videos. I really do hope that you'll join me for the next section, the Sierras, because I, for one, am really looking forward to that. And I really hope I can continue to show you some of this amazing landscape. Yeah, a massive thank you for putting up with me for this long. And thank you to everyone who's liked, subscribed, shared, disliked, put nice comments on, put bad comments on. Thank you. It's all engagement. It all helps. It's brilliant. And a massive thank you to everyone who's supported me on the hike so far. It means so much that you guys are willing to do that. It's really, really nice, and it's really humbling as well. So thank you very much, guys. It's a pretty cool view though, isn't it?
All right, folks, it's about 8:30 or 8:45, and I think I'm going to call it for the night. I've been laid listening to music for the last hour, just watching the sun go down, and it was absolutely beautiful. I honestly couldn't have asked for a better end to this 700-mile journey. I am curious though if you guys have got a favourite day that you've watched video wise, or like a favourite part from the desert journey, or even just a favourite little bit of filming. I would absolutely genuinely love to know which bits you really enjoyed, if there was one in particular or one or two. If you could drop anything in the comments, I'd greatly appreciate it. Just see if they kind of match up with my highlights. Be nice to know. There's a couple of little filming bits that stand out for me, but no doubt my memory will be jogged when I get to sit and watch them all again at some point, which I'm really looking forward to. But yeah, I would love to know what your favourite parts were, or what your favourite days were, so please do, by all means, drop anything in the comments below. Alright, thank you very much guys, once again, and I will see you tomorrow in Kennedy Meadows for the start of the Sierras.